Now taking you back to the page count, having reached around 250 pages, this is the point where the actual honeymoon period of the two characters begins. Stephenie Meyer has tried to play a spin on soulmates. This is the time period that corresponds when we find the famous line by Stephenie Meyer in Twilight, where Bella says that I am irrevocably in love with Edward Cullen. Now reading the next 50 to 100 pages is where I rolled my eyes the maximum, because this was the time period of that lovey-dovey honeymoon relationship period that both these characters experience. And why I did that will be in the next video coming up shortly. So this honeymoon period is the point where we find a lot of mixed emotions that Edward is going through. The inner turmoil that he faces is very prominent. Edward was converted into a vampire around 70 to 80 years ago when Spanish flu was very rampant. A lot of societal factors that he has faced for the last 70 years is what have been imprinted in his thought process. So if you follow me on Instagram, I did post a picture regarding this. If you haven't seen it yet, the links are down below, check it out. So during this point of the honeymoon period between the two characters, the biggest thing that we find in Stephenie Meyer's writing is that Edward is going through a large number of mixed emotions on a daily basis. But he views himself as a damned soul, as a villain, as a vampire who does not deserve the love of any person on this planet. These are some of the instances that as a reader, while reading this book, was something that I could not grasp and comprehend my brain around. However, after finishing this book, I had to take at least 2 to 3 days to wrap my head around this entire thought process and understand where Edward was coming from. So I would like to give you my theories, and that will be coming up in the video shortly. So definitely don't forget to check that out as well. As the relationship between Bella and Edward is growing closer and is going stronger, Edward finds himself in the company of Alice a lot more. He wants to know as to what will happen in his future and how good is Edward doing staying in Bella's life. So we find a lot of insecurities that Edward has had through these years as a vampire. Even as an immortal with changing times and changing perspectives, he still believes that he is a soul who does not deserve to be loved or cared for. He rationalizes his thoughts in such a way that he feels that he wants to do what is right for Bella, and being an immortal, it is his duty and it lies on his shoulders to leave the situation as soon as possible, because according to Edward, Bella is just an immortal who does not know what lies in front of her and what life she could be a part of if Edward wasn't in the picture. Alice is constantly trying to show him perceivable futures depending upon what Edward decides. Through these paths, Edward realizes that his life and Bella's lives have been intertwined. However, the biggest fear that I told you previously that Edward has is Bella being converted into a vampire and her soul being given to the darkness. Edward absolutely hates this idea, so he promises himself that he will take whatever necessary step has to be taken to prevent this future from happening. So at this point of time, Alice asks him one question, that would he be able to deny Bella this if she pleads him? Because in Alice's words, Edward can never say no to Bella and Bella can never say no to Edward. All this inner turmoil going on in Edward's head is seen in this chapter called The Knot. The Knot is the one chapter that was very intriguing and interesting for me. In this chapter, there is one point in time where Alice shows Edward the consequences that Bella will face if he decides to leave her life completely at this point in time. And that is the chapter that corresponds to what happens in New Moon when Edward actually leaves her. So as a reader, because we already know the entire Twilight series and know what happens in the next future, this point in time where Alice is showing Edward what could happen is absolutely mesmerizing. So I would highly recommend for you to read at least this chapter in the book, because it is absolutely amazing to see how Alice's brain works and how she sees these threads of the future. Being from the perspective of Edward, we also find a lot of instances of his ties with his other family members. One of the main characters in Edward's conversations is Rosalie. Rosalie is a vampire who was converted right after Edward. Rosalie does not possess any special characters as a superpower. However, we find out that Rosalie and Edward's perspective to life is kind of moving in a parallel direction. What I mean about that is my theory, so I will be telling you about it more in the next upcoming video. So this entire story that I have told you up till now corresponds to about 400 pages in the Midnight Sun. So now going forward, we come across one of the most famous chapters from Edward's point of view, and that chapter in the Twilight book was called The Meadow. In this book it is called The Confessions. This chapter is when Edward finally takes Bella to this beautiful meadow where he wants to show his deepest, darkest secrets to Bella. This chapter in the Midnight Sun is filled with so many emotions and such a different perspective because it is from Edward's point of view that any reader who is reading this would have definitely enjoyed it. If you have been following me on YouTube and if you have watched the last video on the legend of Persephone and Hades, this is the point where Edward focuses on this legend. There are a lot of times in this book that Edward refers to himself as the darkness, as the lord of the underworld, that is Hades, and Bella in her beautiful garden surrounded by sun, and he in his spot of damnation and shade and darkness. This is the one chapter where we find that infamous line that I posted on Instagram as well. So definitely check that out, and the links are down below. I know you know. The rational brain of Edward tells him that he wants Bella to know every inch of his life so that there's at least one point where Bella decides that Edward is not good for her and she leaves the situation. However, as the day progresses, Edward finally realizes that Bella is now intertwined in his world, and the way she accepts every flaw that Edward thinks that he has astonishes Edward. This is the point in time where Edward feels that how many toxic seeds of the pomegranate has he fed Bella with, that the day he decides to leave Bella for her own good, she would succumb to the sadness and depression that we see in the New Moon book. The legend of the Lord of the Underworld is one that Edward identifies himself the most with. This entire chapter is one where you find such radical emotions and such polarized emotions running through Edward's head with every turn of the page. At one point in time, he feels that the murders that he committed as a vampire, no matter how just they were, are not an excuse for this existence. However, on the other, he feels that in Bella's warmth, actions are justified. The end of this chapter comes when Edward says that Bella is the name to which he now belongs. In this chapter, he also feels that his soul is definitely worth redeeming and Bella is his ray and hope of sunshine. He finally feels that he has been killing himself and overjudging himself for the deeds that he has done in the past. He feels that it is time for him to remove these insecurities and bask in the warmth that Bella radiates. From this point onwards, we come to one of the most thrilling segments of the Twilight series, and that is when the hunter, that is James, is after Bella's life. So the entire chapter on the baseball game that the vampires are playing in the meadow where they first meet this hunter James is the point where Stephenie Meyer has actually put a lot of thought in writing. As the chase goes on, we see a lot of aspects of Edward and his family as to how they are very protective of each other. Details about the top model cars, a Grand Theft Auto, and how these vampires use their cunning in the sunny state of Florida to protect this human girl is something that is definitely worth reading. A lot of tryhards and a lot of people who have watched the movie would remember that this is the first time that Edward sinks his teeth into Bella. However, during this entire process, we see the thoughts that are running through his head. He's loving it, but also in the back of his mind, he's able to hear Bella's voice telling him that it is enough and he can let go. This is another emotional writing by Stephenie Meyer where you read in between the lines and you realize that Edward truly loves Bella. What follows is one of the most interesting segments in this book because even as a reader, having read the entire Twilight series, this was not a thought process I was expecting Edward to have. Bella is under anesthesia in the hospital. A lot of thoughts are running through Edward's head. One of the thoughts that was the most peculiar for me as a reader was when Edward decides that it is time to leave Bella. He realizes that a human in a vampire's world is in constant danger. However, he decides that he wants now Bella to live an independent life without him. And the day he realizes that Bella will not be affected by his absence anymore, he would leave. The main crux why Edward could not hear Bella's thoughts was revealed in this book. Edward realized that a lot of thoughts that Charlie had were not spoken as such. However, Edward could still feel what Charlie was thinking, even though Charlie's words were something that he could not hear. This was in contrast with Bella's mother's thoughts. Edward comments that Bella's mother's thoughts were in shouty capital letters, where he could hear her from even miles away. So this is the point where we realize that Bella gets her immunity from mind reading from Charlie. The ending of Midnight Sun has a sad undertone. Even though Edward is excited to take Bella on the rite of passage, that is the school prom, there is a thought in his head that as soon as he feels that Bella is recovered and comfortable, he needs to leave. Edward, being the immortal, has a responsibility to keep Bella safe from everything, which includes him too. He knows that if Bella stays in his world for any longer, she would be harmed or worse, become a vampire like him. And he did not want to add another soul to damnation. So we find that even though Bella is pestering Edward to convert her right there and then and make her a vampire because she knew she wanted to spend her life with Edward, Edward says, "Bella, I will stay with you." However, his inner thoughts are something completely different. Inside his head he feels, as long as I can, as long as it's allowed, as long as it doesn't hurt you, until the sign comes, until it's impossible for me to ignore, till that time I will stay with you. This is the tone of sadness because Edward has made up his mind that at one point of time where everything is going right for Bella, he will leave her. This was the pure book review of The Midnight Sun. However, the inner turmoil and my theories on it, the good, the bad and the ugly of Midnight Sun, are going to come in the next video, and I will link it here for you. So don't forget to check that out as well and let me know your thought process. Until then, don't forget to smile, sparkle and shine, and do not forget to subscribe to this channel and share it with your friends if you like this book review. For any upcoming notifications, you can hit that bell icon and even follow me on Instagram, where I will notify you for any upcoming videos. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.